We are back. We hope you liked what you heard. And we're adequately high now.
Ooh, yeah.
Hope you all got to smoke. Hope you all packed some bowls and used that time wisely. If you didn't, just fucking stop listening.
Pause.
Just go away.
Pause and then finish what you were gonna.
Yeah.
Get on our level first, and then listen to this.
Only then. Alright.
Open your hearts.
Yeah. I didn't mean to play this song, but I guess we'll have it in the background.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I guess the next game in the series would be old Sonic Adventure 2, the swan song of the...
R.I.P.
Gave you
Rip.
everything you ever could want console, and then promptly had nothing after that.
It really did feel like Sonic Adventure 2 was the last game. Because it was not like the last game that I remember noting, like, buy-worthy.
What was the time gap here?
Like a year, I think? Because the Dreamcast lifespan was two-ish years. Like, it was very, very short.
2019.
So
Yeah, the PlayStation 2 had come out and delivered the final blow to the Dreamcast. But, yeah, because they discontinued the Dreamcast, I think, in October of 2001. It wasn't all the way through, so... Yeah, it only had a 2-year run.
What the
And-
heck?
March 31st.
Was when it Sonic Adventure?
Sonic Adventure came out after they announced that they would discontinue the Dreamcast.
What? It came out on a discontinued.
Yeah,
It came out on a system that was dead.
Well, I mean, it was already slated to release. What are they gonna do?
Fucking
Just,
sell.
like, say like not
Sell it to
sell it to the people who
PlayStation.
have it.
Yeah, just be like, hey Sony, you guys want this? Oh, you yeah, okay. You can put it on PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5. Yeah. Well, like it is now. Okay, perfect.
Unfortunately, they didn't do that.
Yeah,
They,
no, okay.
went over to Nintendo instead.
Oh well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Or-
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came out, like, a few years later, and it was just Sonic Adventure 2 with updated graphics and more content.
Yeah, it was awesome. The first time you ever got drunk, Travis, we played we played races on Sonic Adventure 2, and the loser had to take a drink. And you got pretty blitzed.
Yeah. I had some Captain
Yeah,
Morgan
I
mixed
remember.
with Orange Crush.
Oh.
Crush 40?
Yeah,
Ooh,
Orange Crush
How
40.
appropriate, yeah. I mean, well, it was a drink mix from a podcast I listened to called The Rum Job. I thought it was a good idea, so that's all I knew.
It
about
was a good.
drinking, so
You know what? It was a good
It
idea.
was delicious, and I got absolutely drunk. It was fun.
Adequately drunk. You mean really drunk?
Also, just a quick perspective, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came out in December 2001.
Wow.
In
Wait.
Japan.
So it came out in the same
The same year.
year.
Cast was discontinued, man.
It came out on the GameCube. Wow, that's pretty close to GameCube's
in
launch.
2002 in America.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I played the shit out of Sonic Adventure 2. That was
Oh,
definitely at the time. I would have called it my favorite game of all time.
That game, yeah.
It took the style of the first one and just made it cooler. Everything was cooler.
It streamlined it. It wasn't like there was
Yeah.
no overworld
No hub
stuff.
world,
Like
yeah.
it was just like level based, and you can go back and play any level you want
Yes.
with several missions.
And 2 stories only. It's 2 stories.
Yeah, light and dark.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mixed with the levels.
And playing as Eggman, I remember that blowing my mind. It was like, oh wow, he's finally a playable
Yeah,
character.
that was cool. So Sonic Adventure 2, you had the light and the dark, and within those light and the dark, you had 3 types of levels. You had Sonic levels, which are the speed 'em up levels where you want
The speed 'em up,
Sonic-
I like
Yeah.
that.
Sonic slash
Yeah.
Shadow.
Yes,
Newcomer.
Sonic,
Newcomer.
Dark Side.
Shadow.
Baker.
Dark Sonic.
I will defeat you, Big Hedgehog.
Damn
and then
control.
disappear. And then you have Knuckles and the counterpart Rouge, the bad
Yeah, she's
The
like a
thief.
femme fatale
Spy.
thief. Yeah.
thing who's beside she's like
They gave her cleavage
Ooh,
for
yeah.
some reason.
For some
Sex sells, man.
obvious reason.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
obvious
well, I
reasons.
mean, yeah, for some really obvious reasons, they gave her cleavage.
Yeah, and then you have Tails and Robotnik, which in a nice weird twist is a weird mech shoot 'em up mix between the E102 game or levels from Sonic Adventure. So while it's a weird one, but it definitely gives rid of the problem that Sonic Adventure had, where like Sonic had the levels to play, and everyone else kind of had borrowed stuff. Where in this, everyone kind of had their own unique levels, though they had counterparts. So it was kind of similar, but they did have their own unique versions of those areas.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it felt like Sonic and Shadow had the levels to play now. But other than that, like, because, I mean, the Eggman and Tails levels are pretty... Like, there's some fun ones
They're
thrown in
satisfying.
there. They're satisfying, but it mostly came down to, like, playing Sonic and Shadow's levels or doing the races.
Yeah.
Like, because the battle modes for Knuckles and Rouge were just, like, hunt the emeralds together, essentially.
Yeah, they
It was the first one to find, what, two? Yeah. That's, I mean, it was alright.
Yeah, it was alright.
They were definitely better than the Sonic Adventure 1 Knuckles levels, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They're bigger.
They refined it a bit. The stages were pretty unique.
They were,
And
they were multi-level. Like, there was, like, sometimes you'd have to, like, fly through...
like a water tunnel or something.
Yeah, to get to the next part of the level.
Fly
to
through a
find,
water tunnel.
to find the next emerald, but it still comes down to, like, Sonic and Shadow's levels are the most fun to play.
Yeah, it seemed to me
yeah,
like
at least
the
replayable.
yeah, like this.
Those are the ones that I play. Yeah, if I go back and play.
Yeah, like the A team over at Sega is like making Mario or
Yeah, they're making Mario games now.
Dude,
people who
I'm
make Sonic
taking
are now
real
making Mario.
conspiracy, the truth about Sonic. Okay.
Did you know that Mario was just a ripoff of Sonic?
Dude, it's truth, man. Believe it. You heard it here.
Mario the Hedgehog. He was first.
It's me, Mario, the Hedgehog.
No, the Sonic levels feel like the A team of development like made those. You know, like that was the focus, and then like, but also we got like we're making on a 3D platform, but we're doing this on Dreamcast. We're gonna have content, you know, and how can we do this? Like the Sonic levels are super fun, and then the other ones just kind of feel like on.
There's fewer of those stages though. Like
In the second-
Knuckles only has like 5 stages and Tails only has like 5 stages. So they definitely put the main focus on Sonic and Shadow.
They do.
Yeah,
They
which
balance
is
it out
fine.
better.
That's great. Like you got to do what you got to do.
The levels feel more purposeful. They don't feel as like interjected like the first one does, where they're like placing the other characters in segments of the first. They're their own
Yeah.
level. And
Yeah.
while they might be the same environment, they are different.
There's some levels that Sonic and Shadow just can't go to.
Yeah,
What? Yeah.
like they have their own. Like so, they're both on an island that's about to explode called Prison Island, and they're both trying to escape and it explodes, and they go different ways. And while they're on the same island and they're both trying to get off, they're different levels completely in paths. So that's kind of cool, like kind of like parallels, but like very similar but not the same. And then you got really unique stuff between the two. And then Rouge and Knuckles are basically some shared stuff.
Yeah, well, they have
Unique
their
levels too.
they have their own unique levels.
Yes.
Like Rouge has the whole escaping the base one, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But oh man, that game is awesome. The little touches on that game are fantastic. Like every character has their own like theme of music. Like
Oh, yeah.
Sonic has like the pop punky guitar riffs and stuff, and Knuckles has
Yes.
all hip hop songs.
Rouge is
Eggmans are like
a-
evil
Industrial,
sounding. Well, that's
like-
Shadows are like industrial,
Yeah,
like Nine Inch
Shadows
Nails
like-
type
yeah.
stuff.
Shadow's like almost like metal.
Eggman's more like
Sometimes.
new wave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it sounds kind of dark.
Yeah.
Tails is just Dixie Chicks music the entire time.
Yeah.
Dude, did you know? Okay, I was playing it earlier today, and the Eggman, like when you start off to dark mode, start off on Eggman, and whenever you use your weapon, there's this like super
High-pitched, yeah.
Oh my god, dude. My brother,
I wonder how many dogs were upset by that game.
yeah, the neighbors' dogs were freaking out.
Yeah, and it's constant too. That's like
nonstop.
if they would have gotten rid of that sound. Yeah, they didn't need that sound, or maybe to have it only like beep once to like
Yeah.
let you know, but having it ring the whole time.
yeah, like with a
Poor sound design
7.1
choice.
sound system, that is super fucking annoying. It's like, well, I actually thought there was something wrong, or it was like I was doing something wrong. It's like a built-in of the combat to let you know that you're fucking up right now. So I'm like trying to go through the options and the controls and figure out like, oh, am I supposed to like tap? And then I tap and like, that's just more annoying. This is just the sound they attached to this weapon. Okay, we're gonna push through this.
Also, I've been looking at the character designs. Everything is a lot more like curved. There's a lot of curvature in the character design in Bendy. Yeah, it's
Yeah, like spirally. They definitely went with that with the cast they were where they
yeah.
Sonic's foot's over his head and like also behind his butt at the same time.
Yeah, he's
and
doing a
it's
very
like,
strange like.
whoa!
If
And Knuckles
only
is
people
also
could see
doing,
us.
like a weird like thing where he like has his knuckles one up and one down. And
Yeah.
Tail, they're all doing peace signs.
Yeah, ways people would never actually
Yeah.
stand.
They
But
would
they're
make
not
great
people, they're
tattoo
anthropomorphic animals. Yeah, they would
stuff.
make
They would
great.
make great tattoos.
Went a very different way in the graphical design. And I feel like the Dreamcast in general had a very specific design in its game.
It's very of its time.
Yes.
Very of its time.
Like-
Everything's a little edgier than in the first one, but also at the same time, things are also the whole aesthetic's lighter. Like things are more. There's a lot more color. In Sonic Adventure 1,
Yeah.
the colors are very muted, but in
Mhm.
Sonic Adventure 2, they're just like saturated
Yeah.
and bright, and it was definitely a welcome change. Some dead air.
Like
Some hot sauce.
Everybody's pretty high now.
Yeah.
The podcast
So-
will now suffer.
You know what? Like the gap between Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes, to me, felt like a long time. But it was like we went from middle school to high school during that period. And whenever I remember reading EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly, for those who don't know, and seeing that you could play as 12 characters in Sonic Heroes, I thought it was like the coolest shit in the world. I thought that was Sonic Adventure 3.
Sonic
To
and
me.
his dumb friends.
Sonic, yeah, it's literally Sonic and Friends at this point. It's like Garfield and Friends, but with Sonic.
Was there a TV show between?
Sonic X.
There was Sonic X.
Sonic X, yeah.
Do they bring at all those characters?
It's Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Sonic Advance, like all combined.
Yeah, and it's got its own unique characters and stuff too.
Yeah,
It's
like
an
the
okay
little
show.
boy
It's
that's
definitely-
Sonic's best friend.
Yeah, I think his American name is Chris or something.
Yeah, some boring. Yeah,
Sonic and Chris.
Sonic Chris.
Oh man, go for kids.
I'm Sonic's best friend. My name is Chris.
Andy, so you
Chris
said
Pratt.
you played
I'm Chris Pratt.
Sonic and Chris Pratt.
I am Groot.
So you said played some this morning. You just played Dark Side, or you played the Hero Side too?
Okay, so I played on my lunch break. So I had like 45 minutes. So,
You play a few levels in 45 minutes.
well, I was also getting high and eating Popeye. So Corey and I were trading on and off. and the fucking controls were very difficult. Like,
Ooh, yes.
it feels like you're on like a 6 or 8 point axis. Like, I'm trying to go to turn slightly right, and it's like
You just turn a hard right.
yeah, I'll turn like 45%, and then another another 45%. There's like only like, you know what I mean, like 12 o'clock,
yes.
3 o'clock.
Yeah, very
Whatever,
harsh
like, yeah.
angles. There's no smooth transition.
Oh, the camera angles in both of those
Oh,
games
dude,
are
yeah.
just.
Oh man, the controls and the
Camera.
cameras in those games are something else, and you kind of have to like learn the nuances of it to, effectively play that game.
I miss the innocence of not realizing how that can break a game because, like, when
Man.
we were young and playing that game, it still blew our minds. We thought it was great,
It
and
was
then like
cool,
now we
but-
play it now, like this camera angle sucks.
There's either Knuckles or Tails, and you glide somewhere and you realize, oh, I'm gliding into nothing. No! I see it because the camera was facing me. I was gliding into the screen into nothingness, and I couldn't see it.
Yeah, but when you're 11 or 12, it's like, oh, Sonic's in 3D. This game is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's like, what? It's only 2 o'clock. I have 5,000 hours left.
It felt like that was going to go on forever, didn't it?
It sure did.
Yeah,
If
man.
only.
Well, then we graduated. Then
Get a
10
job.
years passed after that.
And then a few more years.
Then a few more years.
And then for 3 or 4 months, we got that back for a little while.
Yeah, that,
See
That's what you
episode
see.
2 for more information.
exactly. Yeah, no, I had to resist. I was like, I was playing the that fucking Eggman level, and I was like, this is trash. Like, and then
You're
I
a
was like,
hater. You're a hater. You're nothing but a hater.
I know, but I remember. Well, I didn't really play the second one when it came out, but I played the first one and just being like, "Holy shit, dude! Sonic's in 3D. This is fucking amazing."
It was
I don't
Sonic's.
remember any of that.
It was Sonic's first real. I mean, there's Sonic R, but that game
And
doesn't
Sonic
count.
3D Blast.
That's not really 3D though.
Faux 3D.
That's isometric.
Yeah.
But it was
Ooh.
a real step forward, but also a weird wobbly step forward. It did a lot for Sonic, but also worked against him too. But it's
It's
both
ambitious
games-
as fuck.
it's super ambitious.
Like-
Tried a lot of new things. Both of them were really good, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the soundtracks for those games.
Yeah,
'Cause
no.
The
oh,
music-
God.
The music is
Wow.
always good for Sonic games, but for those two especially,
I own the second one.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
own
I
one
know
of the
that.
discs, the second one.
Mhm.
half of the second one because it's a double.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
mean,
music.
out of all the Sonic games, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 definitely have up there near my top favorite video game soundtracks of all time. They're just so fun.
Is it Crush 40 on that one?
Crush 40's on
both of them.
Crush 40's kind of just
And
around in Sonic games now.
I mean, even before that, I guess if I had to pick a very favorite Sonic the Hedgehog song, it would be Hydrosity level stage 2.
Yeah, but that's not a
But
Crush
that's not
40
Sonic-
song.
Yeah, that's not Crush 40. They could do it though. Crush 40 could
They-
do
yeah.
Hydrosity stage 2.
You
It's a
should
shame
yell-
they haven't.
Next time you see them live, yell back.
That's why I stopped.
Play Hydrosity Act 2.
Yeah, it's like that's their like
That's what everybody uses as a heckle against them.
yeah. Play Hydrosity stage 2. Zone 2 armory.
Zone 2, yeah. Poser?
It's Act 2. If you're real Sonic fans.
I'm sorry.
Walk out. Yeah, the Crush 40 was pretty cool. I will say that. I blew my mind again. They blew my mind at the end. He played a Super Sonic and Super Shadow. That whole cinematic where they're like shaking their
Sexy
fists
battle.
together. It looks like they're about to roll some dice. But they're like they're also flying in the air, and then they both turn Super Saiyan.
Dude, Sonic the whole time he's talking, always looks like he's like having a motorcycle or something.
Yeah, in Sonic Adventure 1, they all do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like moved
Corey and I
their.
were laughing. We spent a lot of time just watching him.
Why did they make him bob around like that? I guess just they didn't want him to stand still. Yeah, they.
Yeah, you know, the technology was like so new.
They're trying to translate the bobbing like idle motion of a sprite to 3D. It's not translate at all.
The humans.
That's
also
probably the best way that being put. Like, it's like if they were trying to replicate the 2D sprites.
That's it. Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Sonic's always moving stuff like.
He's always like tapping his
sort
foot,
Otherwise, it looks dead. It just looks very artificial.
but in 3D, especially like Beast Wars reboot style 3D, it did not translate well. It was just awkward.
Oh, no.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that. Like the old, in the 2D games, they would do the same sort of
If they stood still too long, they would do something.
Yeah, and they're always like, but like, just got the animation.
It's
Just
awkward.
put it in
It's
the wrist.
yeah.
They did it all in the wrist.
their knees kind of like bend too. Yeah, so
It's just like awkward. Yeah.
When Sonic walks towards you and like he's strutting and then his like head's moving and bobbing like, and like his like he's shaking and he's moving. He looks like he's a marionette figure.
People don't move like
It's-
that.
and sometimes they do it slow, and then other times they do it really fast.
Yeah, I did see that
It
too.
depends on the music that's playing in the background, I believe.
It's pretty funny. They didn't do that in Sonic Adventure 2.
As much.
There was
They did it to us like it was very. It wasn't as
was
exaggerated.
subtle, yeah.
It was much more
Cutscenes
subtle.
down in the second one, but there's some weird ones like when they
Baker.
did with the cutscene where sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I tried to make a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
So Dr. Robotnik, being a evil doctor, holds the world for ransom. And there's a scene where he's like making a big speech on big monitor. And there's all these humans and stuff around. And it looked terrifying. And like, you know, the moon base opens up and blasts the moon in half, and then terrifying human little girl creature. Just like, I don't know. It's just like I don't know how like
How did they get
don't
past
the
like
limits. It looks so weird.
playtesting?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks so off. Everything else in that game looks very acceptable, but that whole part looks bad. And then you have to go meet the president, right? Some sort of card to him.
Is it? That came out in March, right? No, it came out in October.
It came out.
So it would
It
have
came
been.
out right before 9/11.
So we had. October's after 9/11.
September.
Well, it came out in
Oh.
2001 or.
Yeah, well,
No, that
Oh,
was
2002,
Sonic,
so it came out
Sonic Adventure
after
1 was
9/11.
9/9. But I think it was a post 9/11 game.
Yeah.
The world was
So it was in development
Still-
before 9/11.
America was scarred, and we needed to heal, and we used Sonic Adventure 2.
June 19th, 2001.
Oh, okay, so it was pre 9/11.
Oh, so none of
So none of that applies. But if it came out after that, that would have been the case.
Yeah.
sort of been
Oh my
Made.
god.
post 9/11.
If it came out after 9/11, they probably would have commissioned Toby Keith to do a song for
Oh,
it. A pro. So one of my favorite things about Sonic Adventure 2 is that not only is it like a badass game that I love more than some people I'm sitting next to, but
I love the game. It has a lot of faults, though. You cannot deny that.
perfect. But I love that the game is
that noise.
a big advertisement for soap shoes. Do you guys remember soaps?
Oh,
They were the shoes that-
you skate with.
Yeah, well, they were skateless skates, but they had like a silicone or like really like they had we're in the bridge of the
Yeah.
arch of the foot.
Punk
There was
plastic.
plastic or something that could grind on rails, so you
put
could.
some wax on it. Put some wax on your on the bottom of the shoe where your arch is.
Yeah, it's got like a special spot for it, and then you just slide down rails. That's what it was made for. And they had Sonic and Shadow soap shoes you could buy. I scoured the internet for them. I cannot find a single pair, so it's nice to know that none of them exist, I guess.
To be fair, they were probably just all made in kids' sizes.
There were some in adult sizes. There were
a size 12?
I'm a size 12. That's a big ass shoe.
Okay, I mean, what about 11?
I'm a size 10 and a half or 11.
It's hard enough to find
You think you can find a size 11?
I don't know.
What size down?
Maybe.
And
I don't know. I couldn't find any sizes of anything, so who knows what's out there.
My train of thought was, it came out for kids, so you probably find like a size 7.
It was for teenagers. Teenagers have big feet.
Oh, you're right, sorry.
Yeah,
but it was really for 13-year-olds, so...
Hey, there are some big 13-year-olds.
There are big 13-year-olds, but... How big do you think those shoes got?
Big?
Okay. Well, okay then.
Adult sized, some of them. Some of them definitely grew faster than others.
The grinding in this game was rude. It was something I sought out.
That was like one of the advertised new things about it, was that you could grind on rails.
It was so cool. Like grinding down.
It's so funny though, because like they can lean so far to the left or right, so sometimes you're just like horizontal and just
and slow down to a near stop.
It's got a horrible balance mechanic. I will admit that it's not very good.
It isn't really good, but you know it's fun. Whenever you get it right, it just like.
I had City Escape down to where I could beat that level in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I was super fast at it. I played the shit out of those. But one of my favorite parts of Sonic Adventure 2, like through the story, is the race with Shadow at the end.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I hated that battle.
I liked it. It was just like a
You're
race.
just running straight
and
forward.
You got a homing attack him.
Sonic and
he
Shadow
freeze
both
you.
had that stage where like you could play against Sonic or against Shadow, and like that was cool. Like being able to fight Sonic. You know, but what was that move he used? The whirlwind move.
Sonic had like a Sonic Wind.
Sonic Wind. Yeah.
He would say it real fast.
Wind.
Sonic Wind.
Yeah.
No, he'd be like
Sonic Wind.
He'd be like Sonic Wind, real quick.
Yeah. But I mean, it was super easy and predictable, but like it was just cool, just nonstop running in those stages.
It was cool.
Those last 2 stages for Sonic and Shadow.
Yeah, they're crazy.
The ones in space, it's mostly
whole, like,
grinding
and running up walls and stuff.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like vertical running in that stage
and gravity manipulation.
I think this is not fact, but this is a guess. The dudes that make Ratchet and Clank games may have played the Sonic games. 'Cause
the grinding is very similar.
Yeah, and that's like one of the best parts of Ratchet and Clank. Like, well, not. I mean, it's just like a cool part. And it's fun.
It feels all right. There's like once you get on, it's just like timing your hits and you know, in the new Crash Bandicoot and Crash 4, that same exact mechanic is in it.
Oh yeah.
There's grinding parts now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Insomniac too?
Crash 4 is Activision.
Oh. Okay. So they're all just stealing from Sonic here.
All things Sonic.
Unless, or was there
the grind mechanic was invented
for that?
Tony Hawk.
Oh.
But only by a few days.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk came out like August 30th of that year.
Yeah. And it was,
no, that's
it was
1999.
Like
never mind. Tony Hawk preceded it by 2 whole years. So yeah, after
after skating got cool. Then everybody's like, let's put grinding in our
we gotta put grinding in the games, because skateboard culture was very cool in the
vital
late 90s and early 2000s.
If you didn't skateboard and listen to The Offspring, who were you?
Yeah, exactly.
So after Sonic Adventure 2 and the Dreamcast's inevitable fizzle, rip. But we went on to Sonic Heroes, which was an interesting divergence from the formula. It maintained a lot of the stuff that made Sonic fun, Sonic Adventure fun, but also you had the team mechanic. So there were teams of 3, 4 teams of 3 who all had their own stories, but mostly the same stages. Of course, Sonic's team has the most.
Sonic's team has the most. Well, Team Hero and Team Dark had the same levels, but Team Dark's were longer, and they were supposed to be the hard mode of the game. Team Hero had the same amount of stages, but they were like easier. Team Rose was easy mode.
Easy mode,
It
yeah.
was like they had like not even half the stages, and they were shorter. And then Team Chaotix picked and chose a few stages out of each story and made them suck. It's like,
There's that one Bingo Highway can go on forever.
yeah,
if you
'cause
don't do
if
it
you
right.
don't make enough rings, you're not going to get out of it. And you could lose rings in the pinball the music is great in that stage, but like you
Yeah, it's
have
like
to play
Fast
pinball
techno song that's blasting.
constantly.
The music in Heroes is so Seaside Hill sounds like it has the DNA of old Sonic games, but most of the other stages like are electronic and faster
Yeah.
paced.
Yeah, they make you nervous. In Team Chaotix, I was so excited to see that they were bringing the Chaotix back, especially because I'm like a particularly big SBO fan. And when I saw how their gameplay was, though, it was just so sad. Like, they have a few stages that are like regular Sonic stages, like where you just race somebody really quick and get to the end before they do, but then they have a lot of search and find missions, like the Knuckles stages. They're the Knuckles of Sonic Heroes. And it was very sad to me.
They're the Knuckles of Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, like more than half their stages were like search and find missions, like find the child.
Well, they're detectives.
Yeah, well, I mean that doesn't
They're
mean
detectives, Ryan. It made sense.
Okay, you're right. You're right. The developers were onto something. I can't wait to see a full Chaotix game just like that.
So yeah, each team had a runner character, a glider digger character, and a flyer.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vector was the glider. And
No, he was the power character.
He was the power character. Yeah, it's speed, power, and
speed, power, and flight.
Flight is the third one. Yeah. And yeah, you could lose a character though. I remember playing through it. One of the characters could be lost for a while, right? They could die.
Yeah, if they could like fly off of the map, or like there were certain like enemies that could just like disable them for a while, but as soon as you hit a checkpoint, they'd come back.
They come back, yeah. They just run up and join you. It's cool to see them. They all have their different like running formations too, because when you're playing as the speed character, they all run in a line. If you're playing as the power character, they run side by side, and the power character could actually grab them and hold them and use them like fists. And for the combat
and
parts.
throw them and stuff.
And then the flying characters, they were all stacked vertically. And
they would like fling each other. You could use them as like
fling 'em.
projectiles.
Yeah. So it did a lot of stuff. Sonic Heroes, I think, gets a harsh. I don't know. People treat it worse than Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, but arguably it's better. Like at least mechanically speaking.
Refined, yeah, definitely. Especially with the speed character state, like the stages centered around, of course, the Sonic stages, the speed stages. Those stages are definitely the most fun to play. And the music, the soundtrack in that one is just better. It's bomb.
You think it's better than Sonic Adventure 1 and 2?
I would say it's better than 1 on the level of 2. 1 does have a really good
1 has some really good tracks.
Yeah, that's true.
The snowboarding track in 1 is hot.
And the ruin.
We're just talking through
And the
soundtrack, so character songs.
Character songs.
Okay, yeah.
2 had better character songs.
Except for the Knuckles theme, the side control.
The 1 and 2 like took the Knuckles theme from the first one and just got rid of like half the lyrics and made it like much more hard hip hoppy.
1 is what got me into ska for like.
It wasn't Superman by Goldfinger.
Well, that plus Tony Hawk and the combo of Tony Hawk and Sonic Adventure 1. It's like, yo, ska music is cool.
I'm glad you.
Dad, will you take me to Real Big Fish?
I'm glad you recovered from that.
We all
Dude, today I heard it and I was like, instantly, as soon as I booted up the first level, I was like, oh shit! I remember like hearing this and being like, this music is cool. Yeah, I want to learn more about this, and then going to a Real Big Fish concert. Like, so I was like, ska music, like that I had learned in video games. Like, I like ska now. I'm gonna go to Real Big Fish. They're coming to the
Dad,
college.
give me a fedora and some
Yeah.
suspenders, some checkered suspenders.
And you also have to go with me and chaperone me to the Real Big Fish concert.
Son, why are you dancing like that? Oh, Dad, it's called skanking.
God damn it. Beat me to it.
There, just go to the border area, please.
Dad, just drop me off. I want to go to Van's Warped Tour.
Oh,
Don't let anybody see
I
you.
bought 2 tickets. I want to know what the Real Big Fish are about. I want to know. I like to know.
I like real big fish.
I like fish.
I like real big.
I like to eat. I like to eat real big fish.
The music is hot, dude. And also, I was very impressed today when I was listening to the audio quality and stuff. You got like full voice.
So the production is great in the songs and stuff, but man, the mastering, the voice mastering versus like the music, it's just the levels are all way off and weird, and sometimes characters.
Weird.
You're talking about the English, like American.
Yeah, but
Like,
also like some voices are really quiet, and like
yeah.
me and Travis were talking earlier. There's a scene with Eggman who speaks really quietly,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's like blasting music behind him.
It's like if he live blasting his theme song from his helicopter.
But he's talking like
And
this,
he's
there's a
trying to
song, I
talk to the
saw-
people down there, but he's just speaking in a normal speaking voice. So it's like this blaring music. And
What?
he's like,
What did you say?
I'm going to defeat you, Sonic, and I'm going to take the Master Emerald. You're going to die! And they're just looking up at him like, what is he saying? I know it's Eggman.
Like this the entire time.
I know.
Yeah, it's just a dude that like they're like, can you recite all of these lines in this microphone that $? He's like, okay.
Whoa, $300.
Dude, I did that
That's more than I'm making a week.
in like 30 minutes, and he's like, okay. And he took his check, and that was it. And then they put it in every scene. And that's what you got, was a guy just like reading this weird. That's probably what the scripts are, you know? Like, they just get it, I don't know. But they just get like a voice actor.
It was the early 2000s.
It was bad, dude.
Nothing was
The Shadow the Hedgehog is like, you have freed me, and now I will grant you your one wish. Yeah.
Bow down before my power.
And then Eggman's like, wait, what? And then
What?
changes.
What? What?
He says something like,
Oh my god.
dude, you should look at that scene and see it. It's like,
Oh my god,
it
are you
was
gonna
very story never
like
left.
kill Sonic or not? Is like I didn't
That
free
fucking hedgehog keeps getting in my way.
I woke you up so you could kill Sonic, and you're gonna treat me like this? Like what? I can't believe you, Shadow.
Are you playing as the one girl, Maria?
You mean the one girl Shadow likes?
Yeah, Maria, right?
yeah, that's how she
I remember he
said.
falls into space and he goes, Maria.
That's what you.
That's what Eggman does when he wakes Shadow up. He's like, "What are you doing, Shadow?" It's me, Eggman. Get up and
I love that the
fucking kill Sonic.
mistakes Shadow for Sonic, even though he looks way different.
Nothing like
His
him.
fur is black, he's got red stripes, his spikes go up in the back,
His feet shoot
Yeah.
out fire.
he's got
like
jet
Spider-Man.
boots.
He's like Spider-Man. The moment something bad happens and the hedgehog is the culprit, all fingers are being pointed at Sonic the Hedgehog, savior of the world.
He
To
gets
be fair,
sent to prison.
to be fair, they live in a world where, like, one anthropomorphic hedgehog exists. So, for a second one to just appear...
That looks nothing like him.
It does look nothing like him.
Well,
but...
Sonic's got a new look.
Alright? Yeah, exactly. Like, first of all, Travis, you live in the real world, right? Humans are dumb.
This is true.
There's a very real chance they could have mistaken him for Shadow. Probably not, though. Like, let's be real.
Shadow's the ultimate life form. People should have known that, just looking at him. He's so edgy and mysterious and brooding.
Yeah, he's got red stripes. Red and black.
Shoots gun.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie presents.
Yeah, that was the
Sonic the Hedgehog.
the next game after Heroes was Shadow the Hedgehog, which we talked about in was it the last episode or the first episode? Either we talked about Shadow.
I beat it.
You beat it all the
I
way
beat
through.
it too many times.
It was pretty funny that you did, but
I beat it at least, I don't even know. I beat it at least 7 times.
these levels are good, but give him a gun.
Yeah, give him a gun, and he's fast, but go ahead and make him ride a motorcycle, which is slower and controls way worse.
Gun and motorcycle. People are gonna eat it up.
Either
We got a hit.
You didn't have to use either, though. His homing attack and his speed were just enough. Like, they're way more enough to get through any stage in that. Like, his homing attack and his, like, chaos abilities, where he, like, slows down time and just flies through really fast and shit. Like, it's just way... There's no reason to use guns, motorcycles, tanks, or whatever. There's no reason at all. They're just there. It's novelty.
It's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I think that all came from they originally wanted to give Sonic a gun, and they just decided not to do that.
Sonic wouldn't shoot a gun, but maybe Shadow would.
Yeah, they were trying
Chili
to.
dog launcher.
They were trying to come up with like a new thing to do for the next Sonic game, and they wanted to keep the gameplay fresh.
Guns.
And they put it
Yeah,
in
just give him a gun.
They put the motorcycles in 06 as well.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
put vehicles
I
in
mean, I
Shadow's parts
understand
of 06.
motorcycles.
Shadow
Why
drives
the
a
gun.
Why a motorcycle?
Guns are cool.
Motorcycles are cool.
He can run the speed of sound. There's no reason for him to ever
And you can drive
use
a
a
car.
motorcycle. Like,
He does drive a car in a level, and it sucks. Those levels suck.
yeah, they suck horribly.
That one level where you have to catch the train on the motorcycle.
It's stupid. It's
Yeah, so Sonic 06 was next,
Yeah,
and
that's a
retained some of
nightmare
the
game.
stuff about Shadow that was bad. That game is just
They
it's
put-
a mess. It's a
Future Truck Saga.
It's
in game
a
form.
well-intentioned mess. The
Yeah.
development was very, very tumultuous for that. Like, they wanted to show off the next generation hardware. So they made and it's close to launch of Xbox 360. And so the development team had to crunch really hard, and they couldn't get all their features completed. It feels incomplete too.
Yeah.
And then not to mention the loading times in
Oh,
that game.
yeah.
You start it, you watch a cutscene, and then you go to like a minute long, like a minute and a half long, sometimes 2 minutes loading, and then it puts you on the map, and you have to go to a different part of the map, and then you have to wait through 2 or 3 more minutes of loading, and then you do all these weird before you can even get into the first level. You have to do stupid fucking like fetch quests
yeah.
and shit like that. They bring back the hub world and try to give it like an RPG element. 06 was also ambitious but weird. That they used a lot of their money to make those Final Fantasy like cutscenes. Not to mention they redesigned Eggman in a really weird way.
They made him look
Why?
they made him, like, look-
Why?
kind of realistic, but they gave him the nose still.
He still had his
The
nose.
weird big red nose that did not match the rest of his skin tone.
Yeah, it was a darker, edgier, even darker, edgier world for Sonic. Not as dark and edgy as Shadow the Hedgehog's world, but
But they tried.
they wanted to keep it a little more mature, I guess, to bring in like older teenagers.
So they made Sonic fall in love with a human.
Yeah, that the famous interspecies kiss. Sonic dies, and he gets revived by a kiss from the princess.
What? A human?
And they fight
Princess Elise or something like that.
Wait.
There's a whole level where you have to
You
run
have to carry
holding
her, and she creates a barrier for you. So you're supposed to jump over these quicksand pits, and she creates a barrier that kind of slows you down from falling in them. But you still you end up dying a million times in that level. It's not very fun. And yeah, so there's 3 stories in Sonic 06. There's Sonic's story, there's Shadow's story, and then there's the new character, Silver the Hedgehog, who comes from an alternate dimension. The same dimension as Blaze the Cat from the Sonic Rush series.
Future Trunks.
He's basically Future Trunks. He comes back to the past to find the Iblis trigger and destroy it,
down there.
and to save his future. But he also ends up fighting Sonic and Shadow. Man, the fight with Silver is the worst part of the game because he can throw you against the wall and you can get locked forever. He can infinite loop.
Die. You have to reset the game.
Some people have gotten it to where he would do it and you would hit one ring would keep falling back, so it effectively soft locks the game.
Yeah, you have to reset.
Yeah, it's a horrible an infinite loop.
It's like worse than dying.
And you just hear, "It's no use! It's no use! It's no use!" Like over and over again. You get flung against the wall, you fall, you stop blinking from invincibility, and then he does it again.
Yeah, Silver's a psychic hedgehog, so his levels aren't speed based. His like platform puzzle based. He has like he can lift objects to make platforms and stuff like that, and can float. For some reason, in the multiplayer, there's a race mode, and for some reason you can pick Silver, but he has no chance because Sonic and Shadow can just run past him.
Now, I've never played this game personally, but I have seen a Let's Play of this. I can't remember who it's by, but it's a very infamous, like, not infamous, but it's a very famous, like, funny Let's Play of this. Like, one of the first Let's Plays. And, like, they would, like, take Silver, and they would, like, position a box under them. And they would, like, levitate it, and, like, float through the levels. Like...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he could manipulate lots of objects.
Yeah, it was a very interesting concept, but that game was broken as
it's glitchy, it's unfinished. It was rushed because they wanted to they wanted to get it as close to launch as possible so they could get a leg up.
It was something else, and it would regress definitely back to like Sonic Adventure, where it was like a lot of bloat. They added more characters, side characters that you can kind of play.
Yeah, so there's like segments of levels where you had to play as Tails to go hit a button, or play as Knuckles to, like in the volcano stage, you have to fly up as Knuckles.
Yeah, and so when you played the Silver part, like I guess half of his levels had very big, very fast-paced Blaze parts.
Yeah, he would play Blaze.
Instead of a homing attack, she
fire spins. Yeah, Blaze is cool.
Yeah, and she was the best part of Silver's story, was playing as her.
Oh yeah.
It was not even playing as Silver, it was playing as Blaze.
Were there Rouge parts in Shadow's levels?
Yeah, there was a Rouge part. I mean, her and Tails had this ability where they threw bombs that exploded into rings.
That's right, they could throw bombs for some reason. They were capsules, though. They looked like just the normal capsules, didn't they? But they exploded.
Yeah, and then...
such a weird thing.
They were pretty pointless parts. They were filler parts for the levels. Like they just had to make levels longer.
Throwing the containers, that in of itself sounds like a filler sprite or a filler model.
It was. It's seriously like just put in there because they, I guess, felt the game needed more substance.
Yeah,
and
I don't
threw
know.
it in.
I mean, when you think about it, that was that era where everything kind of seemed like everything needed more. Or it felt like it needed more stuff. Especially because at the time. And most games went from $50 to $60.
Oh,
that's a whole $10, and then you get all these games that come out with like 40 to 100 hours of content.
15 years ago, $50 was $1,000 now.
Depending on when you're listening, 10,000. It could be point
with inflation.
4.5 space bar.
Hopefully time travels around and they can come back and revive us so we can do more of this.
Yeah, if you're out there,
talk about the ancient games, the games of ancient times.
The ancient
Who is
2000s.
this? It's us from the future. They come from the future to tell us that they're going to that we're going to make more episodes.
Dreamcast, the 8th wonder of the world.
I hope in the future there's huge statues of us, and they like this is like the only part of culture that survived some big cataclysmic
Game
event.
Budz.
They just found the Game Budz podcast, and
Episode 3
is their
specifically.
own
They found
their only
this episode
their only clue, their only insight as to what life was like.
is us getting high and drunk.
Eat
and
your
talking to
broccoli.
each other.
Do your homework. 8 to 9 hours sleep a night.
Don't be a dick.
Make sure you're doing at least some exercise.
And this is what
And
music
watch
sounded
One
like.
Piece. It is the
Don't
best
do
anime
it.
ever.
Don't do it. Don't
Watch
do
One
it.
Piece. I agree with that. But
I
also,
need to
whatever-
go dig
whatever.
for One Piece. It's the last thing that they found.
if I had one thing to pass on to future generations
One
is
Piece
that
is still going.
dubstep is peak music. Like if that's when music in our time just peaked out.
Yeah,
and-
Skrillex. Skrillex is
He was the second
a
Beatles.
demigod.
The second
Second
Beatles.
Beatles. Yeah, people in the millennials worship Skrillex.
Pardon me, wow.
Damn millennials.
That was a dubstep song called
Dub sex.
I'm
was a
sorry.
jerk.
You apologize. You burp it. You burp and you say, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
To be fair, he burped and apologized because it was a dubstep song.
Yeah.
But-
Sorry for the dubstep, guys.
This is an impromptu performance.
Every burp is just a dubstep performance.
That's. Is this Sonic music?
This is from Sonic Heroes.
Oh,
Here,
This
let's
is a casino
Bingo Highway.
Bingo Highway. Yeah.
There's one thing from Sonic Heroes we haven't talked about, and that is the theme song.
Oh yeah, what goes up must come down.
You have to beat the ground.
Sonic Heroes. It literally says it.
it's
Like Sonic Adventure 1. It didn't say Sonic Adventure 1.
The Sonic Heroes.
That'd be funny if
It said 1.
if it said one because it's like knew a sequel was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
This is Sonic.
Adventure 1. Sonic Adventure 1.
It's the same. It's Sonic Heroes, but
Yeah.
it just replaces the word Sonic Heroes.
Racing, Sonic
Nick-
Racing.
Sonic Mania. Sonic
that's it.
1.
Exactly.
They just would go
Sonic
back and
3
replace it
and
like
Knuckles.
They did with, Anakin and Vader and Hayden Christensen. Just swap it out. Change
Swap it
all the music to all of Sonic games. To
It's the same soundtrack.
singing that. And you go Sonic 1, Sonic 2. You're playing Sonic 3 right now, and it's Sonic and Knuckles with the expansion thing.
The lock-on cartridge.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic CD. Knuckles Chaotic.
It's Crush 40 doing this. Imagine
Yeah.
Crush
Yeah,
40,
it's Johnny
but
Gioeli
they
singing.
cut-
They do it.
You delete all of the music from all of the games.
Tickles and Pickles.
Interesting fact about Crush 40 was originally Jun Senue wanted to get the guy from Whitesnake to sing those songs. So there's like an alternate universe where
Whoa.
Crush 40 is fronted by the lead singer of Whitesnake. But
That'd be sick.
for whatever reason, he declined.
Maybe
But he was the one who, yeah, just too
like
busy
missed
having
opportunity.
groupie orgies
Yeah.
to sing a song for a video game. But he was the one who was friends with Johnny Gioeli and pointed them his way.
Got it. He pulled the Hulk from what's his face the guy who plays the Hulk now. He was referred to from
What?
the Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo was referred to
By Edward Norton?
Yeah,
Okay.
Edward Norton did not want to play the Hulk
Oh.
after that movie, so he's like, "Hey, you should check out this dude."
Just passing the buck.
Exactly, and he.
It worked.
Yeah, the Hulk is that movie with Edward Norton is part of the MCU, isn't
It
it?
is.
It's the beginning. It's
It's-
one of the beginning
It's
films,
right
I
after.
guess.
It's right after Iron Man.
Yeah, because like that's when you see Captain America's shield in the ice, like during the end avalanche scene. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to, like freeze frame it to see his shield
yeah.
in
It's
the
a,
ice
it's a
too.
very. It's not very purposeful.
Yeah. Well, it's very purposeful. They
It's purposeful, but it's not like they don't. It's not like in your face. Like they're not. Like,
no, you have to see it when you
It's
freeze frame it.
definitely-
Yeah.
So, I just thought of a topic. So we talked about Sonic Adventure and its 3D. There's a new 3D Sonic game announced. What do you guys want? What do you guys have? What would you like to see in a new 3D Sonic game? Because they did the boost formula thing for a long time with Sonic Colors and Unleashed and Generations and Forces. But this one claims to be open world. But yeah, what would you? Do you guys have any ideas of what you might like to see? Maybe some returning mechanics that you've missed.
Dude, I want to see them just like not worry about like trying to pull all the stops, you know, and just make
Make a good
Clean.
Sonic game.
yeah, dude, yeah. Like when we were just talking about Adventure 1, you know, being like a launch title, and then Adventure 2 being a death title for the Dreamcast, and then Heroes being, or 2006 being,
A mess, yeah.
like,
So
but
this
they're all,
one's
like,
not on
overly
any. Yeah, this one's not at any console launch though. This is well into the life cycle. Well, I guess it's technically close to the PS5 and Xbox, but the thing about Sonic games is they always want them to be multi-platform, so they definitely want to have it on Switch. So I'm sure they'll design basically two versions: the Switch version, which is worse.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic
Somehow.
Unleashed came out for 360 and PS3 and Wii, and the Sonic Unleashed version for the Wii is significantly worse.
It's different. It's a different game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as fun.
That was kind of like the thing at the time. The Wii was
Underpowered, but the Switch is in the same.
different. It's different. It's
They-
always different.
They did a really good job with Sonic Colors, though, showing that that kind of gameplay could be done on the Wii. They just didn't do it with Unleashed. It was too early, I guess.
I mean, they started doing the multi-platform thing with Sonic Heroes, and they just couldn't stop afterwards.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
that was the game. It was like that was the big thing about it.
yeah. It was the
like,
first one that was
they
on
were like-
Xbox and PS2.
Sega was like, "We're free, we're everywhere." You know, they were doing thing like Xbox. What a
Sega,
weird world.
We're inside you now.
The fact that a Sonic game was specifically on Xbox, like a Microsoft console,
Yeah, it was mind blowing.
it was crazy. Like, why? It was like some sort of weird period where Nintendo fans felt like a lot of their IPs were leaving them. Rare was now absorbed to Microsoft, and now fucking Sonic.
Sega's everywhere. Yeah.
You know, like you think that
That was-
Sega would stick with Nintendo after the Dreamcast?
After that huge feud.
I mean, they just decommissioned a huge part of their company, so they had to recoup the losses that they had.
Sega always better as a software company.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless
Well,
they're doing arcade.
their arcade hardware was always on point, and the Dreamcast was a good machine. They just
They had good
were
ideas.
too ambitious. They
Good
were,
ideas, they just were not the right time at all.
Yeah. And it takes a lot to do a console, you know. The PlayStation just
the PlayStation was more powerful than the Dreamcast. It played DVDs. That was the real thing that made the
Yeah.
PlayStation much better.
Yeah. At that time, that comes down to everything. Sega definitely was wrong place at the wrong time. All of their Sega CDs, Sega Dreamcast, 32X, all that stuff came out right when the PlayStation 1 came out. You know, that already steamrolled everything else.
And too close together, so they
Yeah.
caused losses.
They
like,
were hurting themselves. They were
They-
diversifying themselves too thin. Because no one's going to buy everything. Not everyone's going to buy everything. Sorry, not no one.
They
Plenty of people are
panicked.
going to buy
Yeah, some
everything.
people.
Sega
They
panicked.
can't.
Yeah, they were just like doing stuff. But then Dreamcast came in between. Like
It was in between generations. It was the first.
Right
It was
there.
the first of the game, like that generation of consoles.
They went too soon and they flopped because like they just didn't perform well. And then once the PS2 came out, again it just steamrolled everything.
It was also hard for Sega to lock down developers because the Dreamcast, I think, was hard to develop for.
Yep.
So a lot of the games are straight up Sega games. Capcom had a few games though, like Power Stone and stuff, and the Resident Evil games that came out on Dreamcast.
PS2 was more sexy. It was more sexy. It was easier to develop for, and like
Nothing sexier than Sega Dreamcast.
And then, I mean, and it's like PS2 went on to be the top-selling console of all time. So it's like I feel like Sonic or Jesus fuck, goddamn.
Jesus fuck, goddamn!
Sega.
Every time we say Jesus fuck, goddamn. Jesus fuck, goddamn.
Dude, yeah, no, Sega really was smart. They pulled it fucking together. Like, they fucked up. They did bad with hardware for a minute. They made bad foods, you know? With all these add-ons and what have you. And they saw that they were losing ground. They discontinued everything and software people, and that's great.
it's amazing they're around still, basically.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying,
they've been
like-
struggling for a while, but they're doing better now than
Yeah.
they've done in the past. They've got some pretty good games, like the Yakuza series is really good. They're
Dark
thinking about
Ages.
bringing back Virtua Fighter, which is super cool.
That's surprising.
They said they were actively looking into old IPs to revive. So
Don't they own Atlas too?
yeah,
Oh,
Sega and Atlas.
So like they got Disgaea and they got Persona and is Persona Atlas?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they got Disgaea and Persona and like Sega's got a lot of really
Ace
good
Attorney?
IPs.
No, that's Capcom.
Capcom.
Oh,
Ace Attorney is Capcom.
Trauma Center?
I don't know.
Couldn't tell you. Never played that one.
No, yeah.
What to do with
Wait, yeah,
episode?
I have played Trauma. I have played it, but that
Trauma
was
Center
yeah.
is Atlas,
Good ass
so
Atlas.
that's if it's Atlas, it's Sega,
Well,
essentially.
Atlas and Sega weren't together back then.
Well, they are now. They are now. I'm saying I didn't say they were back then.
Fair enough.
You know, like they could have just kept trying to do what they were doing and hooked up more and closed up shop, but no, they like.
Wait, doesn't Sega also they own Platinum Games or
No,
because Atlas and Platinum developed Bayonetta, right?
Sega and Sega and Platinum.
Sega
It was published by Sega, developed by Platinum.
Okay, Platinum's great.
Platinum, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Sega was definitely probably the only other company that was same spirit of Nintendo. When it came to their like, they tried to do more innovative things,
Yeah.
but they didn't have the same charm that Nintendo. Except minus Virtual
The
Console.
genius of
Wii U.
Miyamoto.
I mean, Nintendo had the endurance. They could hold out. If they
They
made
had-
something bad, like it would work. They had people who would support them no matter what.
And they destroyed the
More.
arcade market. Like, they were so good at making arcades.
Mhm.
Like, those 80s and early 90s teams
Yes.
that developed to those were on top. Games like Outrun and, what's another Sega arcade game? Virtua Fighter. Those games are
Sega
awesome.
Rally?
Sega Rally, yeah.
They were good at so Nintendo had the Mode 7 and Sega was very good at emulating Mode 7 just using moving backgrounds essentially, and that really put them ahead, at least in the console market. As far as arcades go, they just had the top of the line shit for a long time.
Afterburner. I should have said Afterburner.
Afterburner.
That's a great
game.
game.
That's a game that like emulated Mode 7 on a Sega, but you know they don't have mode 7. So
How many does that make for you, Travis?
how many what?
5? Oh my god.
5 shots. Travis done 5 shots.
He's drunk. You're
He's
drunk again, Travis.
Travis,
Yeah.
he's got an issue.
thought this would be more than enough to keep.
Travis, episode 3 really just an intervention. You have an issue.
Yeah, hour 3 is going to be the intervention. So Patreon's up.
You guys never answered my question. I asked that question a long time ago.
But
What do you want to see in a new Sonic game?
Oh!
In a new 3D Sonic game.
You know
And
what?
You guys would just beat around the bush and change the subject because you weren't ready
I
for
don't want to
critical
see it
thinking
on
for real
something. I
questions.
want to die.
Oh my god.
You know what? My biggest issue is that the rumor is that it's an open world Sonic game.
Dinosaurs.
that's what I'm scared of. That's like
Travis, those are the worst words you could have said too. Like, cause like
Dynasty Warriors 9.
I immediately think Dynasty Warriors 9 because Sonic and Dynasty Warriors historically have had the same quality of games.
Say the worst game somewhat better sometimes. Most times.
Yeah, well, at least yeah. So like Dynasty Warriors 8, Dynasty Warriors 8 and Extreme Legends, both like super fun. Like they're flawed, obviously, but they excel in the Dynasty Warriors genre. But unfortunately, Sonic games have just steadily gotten I wouldn't say worse.
Yeah,
but
Generations was good.
Generations was good.
Unleashed was halfway good.
Yeah, but then you get like
Colors was good.
Colors was okay, and then you get
Forces, which is boring.
Forces,
not
which-
necessarily bad, but
and
just
Lost
boring.
World, which is just also like it's its own game. It's unique in its gameplay, but it's not.
They could refine some. So with an open world thing in Lost World, Sonic had like those parkour things, the parkour moves. He could run on walls and run up walls. If they gave him an ability to do that, and it made it like a Breath of the Wild open world where there's no.
Yeah, but they didn't.
I'm talking about for a new game.
I think in the new game, I feel like if they have an overworld, a big open world, they better make you run through it really fast, and then get to a level that is just actual Sonic gameplay. I feel
Yeah,
like
it would be.
the overworld should be a hub world
I wonder how they would.
where you choose levels.
I wonder how. I wonder how they would
Yeah,
interlace the overworld like map with actual like Sonic platforming that you
Yeah,
have
how
to
can
do.
you run that fast from one place to another without it just like being fucked? Without it being fucked. Sorry, I was a little far away from my microphone. How could you run that fast though, from like one point of the world to another in an overworld?
There's a lot of difficult development
Yeah.
issues that they're probably gonna have to face as an open world Sonic because he does run fast. Unless
Yeah.
do you limit how fast he can go in the overworld and then speed him up in the stages?
Right, and that's going to inevitably lead to issues.
I think that's the big issue with Sonic. That's what they've been struggling with since they've been in a 3D since Sonic Adventure. It's like with 2D, it's like it's level.
There's two directions to go.
Yeah, and it's level that one up. Go to 3D, then it's like you have to develop. And like even back when Adventure 1 was out, it was like, yo, we're gonna make this as like fucking high tech as possible. Look how good these graphics are. But like they can't make new levels for every character because they took so much time to make all those levels.
I think the process was making the levels and then making the characters and making the levels work with those characters.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I feel like they
Exactly.
made the levels first.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then, they made them Sonic
They
based,
made them
and then
Sonic.
just made it work around the other characters.
They're like, we spent like 6 months or actually 2 years
How can
making
we make-
these
yeah.
levels.
How can we make this
So-
level work with we have to put more characters in now? So how are we gonna make it work with Tails? How are we gonna make it work with Knuckles or Big the fucking Cat?
Big the fucking cat.
DJ Big the fucking Cat.
the detail that went into like the Final Fantasy VII remake, you know, imagine like all that, but you're running through on a Sonic level, and you run through the entire game and
Super
as fast as
fast.
possible. You're speed running it, so you're like, I got through the whole game. And then, dude, somebody's got to draw all that shit on the computer.
There's a
Yeah.
there's
Dude, that's probably the most
are.
thankless job is being a
being a
Sonic-
background designer for a Sonic game.
Yeah, 'cause
For Sonic.
all your shit's gonna get passed up.
Well, so they don't have to use the boost formula for this new game. So
Yeah,
they could
true.
slow them down and make them more like adventure speed, and still make them run really fast. But with the boost formula, that's why they had to make those levels so big because he was running way faster.
Dude, yeah,
But-
dude, with the new stuff and with 4K and the rumbles and the whatever and the
And the
swing,
and the
rumble
Pokemans and
you can make a real visceral Sonic experience with a VR. Imagine a VR Sonic.
Travis.
That'd be crazy.
Travis, think of a perfect Sonic game and then just throw a wrench in it. Like, just throw the worst mechanic you can think of. Like, think of, like, making
Or
the
the
best, like,
craziest,
fast-paced
coolest.
Sonic game and just, like, what is the worst mechanic that you're just gonna shoehorn into it?
It'd have to be some new friend. Some new friend. Oh my god, elevators.
You somehow
Dude, yeah,
exceeded.
just
Yeah.
elevators that you have to wait for. That
They-
They cover up loading times.
You've exceeded my
there's no load
expectations.
times.
There's
There's no
because it's
load
SDD now, so
Yeah.
the elevator is just a mechanic.
Yeah, it's just a character who is just elevator
An
based.
unskippable.
In this new Sonic adventure, Sonic can now ride elevators.
Yeah, and you can like dance and walk
The elevator.
Sometimes a kid will get in and hit all the buttons,
around.
and then you have to wait on every stop.
Yeah, it's super realistic.
Or sometimes you get in there and then you have to like call an attendant to come in and turn the key and get the elevator to run again.
Yeah, it has like real elevator mechanics. It's super fleshed out. All the buttons work.
It must. in
Super
Sonic
realistic.
High-paced environment.
Travis, you somehow like took my question and just shit in my face with it. Like you just you exceeded my expectations on what a
Yeah.
horrible mechanic could be.
You shit in your face.
That
in
one
the
has-
best way possible.
There's no
game.
function except for moving up. And Sonic
Wow.
can. A much cooler way to go up is to climb or super spin up, spin dash up,
Fly.
or jump up platforms. There's so many more cool ways you
Just
could have done that.
Standing on an elevator,
Just
man.
Sonic
Just
in a
love
box.
it. It's so great. You know, you stand on an elevator and it goes.
You took the worst part of a Sonic game and put it in to like the new one that we're like thinking about and made it a core mechanic.
Everyone's favorite part of Sonic 1.
Yeah, just waiting on floating
You
platforms.
go on floating platforms, and even better when you could accidentally miss it and it goes away.
Gives you a
Wait for it
chance to
come back.
breathe
Dude,
when
I
you
got-
stop
yeah.
running.
Perfect in a game where you're trying to get through it as fast as possible.
Spoiler alert.
You're gonna. That hasn't gone away with PS5. Ratchet and Clank has elevators that you have to wait for. And I was like jumping off the sides, being like, "What am I supposed to do here?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Just gotta wait on
there's
the
an
elevator.
that's coming over there. Okay.
Is there at least a charismatic, 8-foot tall frog alien that goes upward?
Oh my gosh.
There might
I was
be,
like, what are you
actually.
talking about? And it was a Mass Effect thing.
Well, that's like at least 15% of Mass Effect 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Are
it-
elevators.
yeah. The elevators are like the
Oh.
elevator conversations. They're options in the remake now because you can just skip them because they were there as loading times, but you can just actually skip them
They're
now.
charming at least.
The only acceptable
To an
elevators
extent.
in a game, the only acceptable elevators in games are in beat 'em
Fighting
ups.
games. Yeah.
Side-scrolling beat 'em ups.
no.
where-
Those are
But
Take that.
That's the worst
I'm
levels
saying
in
it's an
beat-em-ups?
it's an acceptable part though. It's better than at least you're.
Makes my stomach churn.
But at least you're
seeing
still
an
doing the
elevator.
core mechanic of the
In a
game.
beat 'em up game, it
Yeah.
makes my stomach churn.
It's a trope. It's in every game.
It's the worst of the worst levels. It
I
means I'm
think-
gonna die.
No,
It's 'cause you suck.
I think they're the most exhilarating because you're just like
You're
bombarded and you have to just mash X or Y or whatever you're
Oh,
playing.
so
like-
Yeah.
in Super Double
Yeah.
Dragon for Super Nintendo, the elevator scene in that is fucking ridiculously hard.
it's so
Because
hard.
there's 2 elevators and you can get hit out of it.
Yeah, and if you get hit out of it, you instantly lose a life, which you don't have much of
Yeah,
anyway.
you only get like 2 starting. That game is hard as fuck.
Which one was it?
Super Double Dragon for Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
It's the 4th one.
and you have to like.
That's
There's
fourth
like
Double
a
Dragon.
counter mechanic in that game that is just like you have to use that. If you don't, you're just gonna die.
Dude,
It's
I
broken.
like that game. I
That
think
game is fun.
it's got its haters, but I think that game is really fun.
they were like.
Yeah, what if the new Sonic game is just a beat 'em up?
All
Oh,
the
Sonic beat 'em up? I'd be totally down for that.
There's
Would
a
it be like Dragon Ball Z Sagas or something?
There's a fan-made Sonic the Hedgehog fighting game that is very similar in mechanics to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But you only play as one character at a time. But there's like the launching mechanic, and it's like a very well-made fan-made fighting game.
It's called Sonic Smackdown.
Sonic Smackdown.
What? Dare I ask? Or
They keep adding more, so it's at the beginning.
Alright.
That it started out Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Eggman, Chaos, and then like they added Shadow.
Oh wow, Big the
Chaos-
Cat's in it.
Big, yeah.
Chaos Zero, Emerald
The
from
Chaotix.
Sonic the Fighters.
Oh, of
Yeah, so
course.
they've added a bunch of characters. It was pretty alright.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
very for an independent effort. It's very good.
Yeah. It's kind of like the way them's fighting herds, the fucking My Little Pony fighting game that was just an offshoot because they wanted to make a My Little Pony fighting game, but they got a cease and desist, so they just
What?
made.
Sonic is not going to do anything.
I feel like the fans of Sonic and My Little Pony have it's like a Venn diagram, and they just intersect. Like
There's
there's
definitely some
definitely
intersection.
yeah.
So we are at 2.5 hours. So I guess we should wrap this up, huh?
Oh man,
It's
time flies.
time
We're
flies.
Raising chows.
yeah. Oh my god, I spent so much. One more thing. The amount of time spent raising chows, that was the bulk of the gameplay experience for most players. I think that mechanic, it's like a Tamagotchi thing, but you can race them and you can make them punch each other.
You can abuse them in just the right ways to make them a certain color.
Yeah, make them race, make them
Oh, I
super
forgot about
wrestle.
that.
Yeah,
Go
Change their
kindergarten.
colors.
if you hit them as Tails and then hit them as Shadow a certain amount of times, you could turn them like green. You just had to hit them a certain amount of times as one good character and one bad character.
So many weird like nuances to like raise the chows, like hidden knowledge, quote unquote, or like go to the black market, you get the fruits and like persuade them, or there's the different chow gardens you can unlock. Ooh man, 2 had a lot of fun things when it came to chows. And I wouldn't doubt that I have a nice collection of chows on the memory cards I have in my collection from me and Hove.
The GameCube one also had chows that you get only from Phantasy Star. You get the Tails and the Knuckles chow from
Yeah.
Phantasy Star.
Ooh,
Yeah, those
man,
games had like
Phantasy
interchangeable
Star.
Yeah,
stuff. Because there were like Sonic and there's like a Sonic mag in PSO.
yeah.
Man, isn't it weird that all of our episodes seem to be connected? Because I feel like there's going to be a mention of Phantasy Star in the next one.
You just have a sneaking suspicion. So yeah, this
There's an inkling.
this has been an elevated conversation about Sonic Adventure, and join us next time when we'll be talking about couch co-op classics, games we all got to play together. And maybe not even necessarily co-op, maybe even some couch competitive games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good old days.
But yeah, the good old days, the pre.
They don't make
Everybody
them
has to
like
buy
that anymore.
their own. Yeah, everybody has to buy their own system now.
Yeah.
So pack your bowls and get ready for next week when we have that discussion. Bye.
Bye.
If you like what we do and want to support the Game Budz, please consider giving our podcast a like or review on whatever platform you find us on. If you want to reach out to us directly, send us an email at gamebudspodcast@gmail.com. That's buds with a Z. Or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much for your support, and see you next week. Bye!